aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to AKA Geeks. I'm Sean. With me I have the two rocks of this thing that we have going on. Say hello, guys.
Rocks.
You guys are the steadiest guys I know. Always there. We got Eddie.
What?
Good morning.
And we got Lynn.
I don't know. I took that as an assault on my intelligence. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
All right, guys. So this is our movie of the week. This is the group discussion. We come back to you guys every other week with. We are starting off with some horror / Halloween movies because it is the month of Halloween. I do this every year, and so this is something I love to do because I'm not a big horror fan, and I like to see these different types of films. This week we had one that was suggested by Lynn, and it is the movie DeathGasm. Lynn, do you have the plot synopsis? I have it. If you don't have it,
Actually, I don't.
okay. All right. So real quick, it's a one sentence type of thing. Two teenage boys unwittingly summon an ancient evil entity known as the Blind One by delving into black magic while trying to escape their mundane lives. This one is directed by Jason Leigh Howden, and it's written by Jason Leigh Howden as well. Stars are Milo Cawthorn, James Blake, Kimberly Grossman. So tell me, you guys, Eddie, tell me some positives. What did you like about the movie?
It was very well written. I liked it. I enjoyed it. If I was 16 years old, it would have hit my top 10 list. But it was a good movie altogether, yeah.
So
Wait, so you're saying you have to be 16 years old to actually like this high enough?
You know, I sat there and just watching it, and it's like, this reminds me of all the horror movie stuff that I used to watch when I was like 14, 15, and 16. So it was a throwback.
To follow that up.
Yeah, it was a great throwback. It just reminded me. I mean, even though I watched it 3 times because I kept on falling asleep at the last 20 minutes because I just watched it. I just got out of work and it's like, oh wow. But other than that, it's a good throwback movie if you grew up in that time.
Now you mentioned the writing. That was one of the strong points you said. Are you talking overall like writing of the film or the specific dialogue?
The dialogue and the thing, it all fits for that time frame that this guy wrote it in. Looking at it, I think he's about maybe Mines and Len age, probably, because he's been doing a lot of work with a lot of visual effects. That's why the visual effects were so good in that movie. He's done visual effects for the Hobbit series and the Avengers, Ghost Riders, Wolverine. So, and also when I was doing some more research on the movie, I found that this movie was either won or nominated for a lot of awards. Not only South by Southwest, Bangora, Toronto Film Festival up in Toronto in Canada, the Knoxville Horror Film Festival, another one that I can't really name, the Razor Reel Film Festival, Hardline. I mean, I was surprised, and mostly all because of the special effects that was worked on.
Right.
Yeah, on some of those, the ones that you're mentioning, Chainsaw Awards, Fright Meter Awards, Sydney Film Festival, Toronto After Dark Film Festival. In pretty much it's all either like makeup, creature effects, special effects. So that's nice that you mentioned that. I appreciate that, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
What else you said?
I mean, and also if you're
and
Power Rangers fans, you will realize two of the main cast members is from former Power Rangers.
The girl.
And the boy.
Well, not the main kid.
Oh, Brody was a Power Ranger for 32
what
episodes. RPM. I looked it up.
See, no wonder I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
That was before Ronan's time.
Now we're crossing over into. Now that's weird because now that's crossing over into stuff that you would think I would be, but I am.
Well, no. See, RPM was one of the first.
That was 2009
shows. Yeah, but that was the first couple of shows that what's the company that does Saban actually started doing them again, and they did them basically using all original footage, not using a lot of the Japanese shows, just the elements, not really.
And the reason why I knew that one because my son was still into Power Rangers at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
So, okay, I haven't
Jonah
watched
was
Power
on
Rangers since Power Rangers Turbo, or the Ninjetti one. That was before Turbo? So Turbo is when I stopped. When they got rid of Billy and they found the kid that was like 13 years old, I was like, I'm done. But anyway, so
The worst thing
you
they
like
did was put that 13-year-old. Anyway,
so you
like you
like
said,
the writing of it, Eddie. You also like the fact that it was kind of a throwback,
Yeah.
of sorts. So what do you mean by that? I want to know more from you about this.
I got something to follow that. I know what Ed's thinking it because I thought the same thing, and I actually have examples of films that made me think of this movie.
Let's Eddie,
Go ahead, Ed.
lead us into this. What kind of examples? What do you mean?
You know he's doing this to get you to talk, right?
Go ahead.
No, he
you
has
go,
to.
Liz. I want you to tell us, Eddie.
If you ever watch some of the stuff on, I guess, the 90s and stuff like that, you would see them like Evil. I think it was Evil Dead or Call 976.
That's 80s.
Yeah, the 80s, somewhere around there. You can see a lot of the throwbacks with horror films is basically about metal music, art, whether what type it is, art, sex, and stuff like that, and continue on. You could really see that during the movies because that's when I used to stay up real late at night watching, the old stations and just catching those flicks there. So I mean, it was a real throwback for me. Like, damn, like really. So that's why I said if I was 16, this movie would have hit my top 10 at least. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a lot of movies. I know Len has a slew of lists of watching.
No, you said a couple that I was thinking about. So
I mean, there's a few more, but I
glad that you
really
brought it up.
can't remember the names to all of them. But like I said,
Yeah.
for me, it was definitely a throwback to that day of me growing up.
Yeah.
Throwbacks can be good. Let's carry that over to you, Lynn. So go on in with some more of those titles that kind of felt like that. This one was like a throwback of, and other things.
A lot of things. If you love the spewing blood technique, because this is in here a lot.
Yeah.
It takes you back to those 80s movies. Like he said, I got a lot. It reminded me a lot of Evil Dead, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
the first Evil Dead.
Well,
It reminded me
namely, they
of-
used the chainsaws heavily towards the latter half.
Yeah, that was Zach who used the chainsaws
Yeah.
mostly. But even if some of the fight scenes reminded me of Evil Dead, just like some of the jumping around they do and the spinning blade attack.
Yeah, the fast movement of the camera lens.
Yeah.
To
Just a little bit
stop.
of shakiness.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of shakiness, but just still steady enough to catch everything.
Yeah.
The demons, the blind demons, were exactly like Deadites to me. And on top of that, like he said, 976 Evil. I got a little bit of the Shaun of the Dead vibe from it when they're driving, Zach and Brody, when they're driving around and you see the demons attacking other people. That sort of reminded me of the little bit of the Shaun of the Dead, where they're just like being completely oblivious to anybody else. They're just driving for themselves and they don't care about anybody else. But soundtrack, phenomenal. I actually wish I could find the CD soundtrack for that because I loved it. It considering that.
Are you talking the soundtrack or the score?
No, the soundtrack, the heavy metal music that they were using throughout the movie, the actual metal music, even the stuff that Brody, Zach, and the other two guys played was pretty decent. It felt right with the characters, and the fact that he took a girl that was listening to hip hop and made her a metalhead just on one CD, and the CD he gave him was a CD along the lines of a female-fronted metal band, because if you listen to her music, it was a female singing it. So I thought that was pretty cool. 976 Evil, like you mentioned, I got a lot of the Silent Night, Deadly Night because of her using the axe. And can I say she was completely badass in this? I'm glad that they didn't make her a typical... Because in horror, one of the horror sticks is that the girl doesn't do anything. And
they're helpless.
Broke that. Yeah, Medina broke that by a long shot. It was basically the other two guys, Dion and David, the fat kid and the D&D
I
kid.
think it was Giles. Dion and Giles. David was the cousin.
Dio, because he called him Dio.
Yeah,
He
Dio.
didn't call him Dion.
Yeah.
Dio and Giles. Those two were the helpless tropes, and she was the badass, helping them get to the school. I thought that was a nice twist on the movie. So, I just like that it took classic horror tropes and even felt like a classic horror movie, like it was filmed back then, and it surpassed it. Why this did not get on Netflix sooner is beyond me, because this movie is from 2013.
No, actually, it's 2015. It was released in 2015.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's about
so-
right a good time for that, because it's been probably hitting the circus to get all these nominations.
Yeah, but considering how quick things hit Netflix, especially those smaller films, tend to hit Netflix a lot quicker. And this has only been on for about 2-3 months since I first mentioned it to Sean originally on the list. Because when I first saw it, I told him, hey, put that on there. We'll watch that. And I'm sort of glad. I actually expected this to be very campy, and this was not as campy. But I do have some issues with the story. I was not big on the writing, as Ed claims, and the reason why is because of character progression between Zach and Brody specifically. Brody felt too much of an asshole to be a blood brother to this kid, because they became friends, they became blood brothers. Suddenly out of nowhere, he's trying to stiff this kid for the only girl he likes, and take advantage of have him for himself. And I didn't know if he was just doing that because he didn't want to be left, because Zach didn't want to be alone throughout that, because it felt like there was something missing and nothing was explained.
Are you wait, I'm confused. Are you meaning opposite? Do you mean the opposite? You mean Brody? You mean Zach was an asshole? Or because
Zach was an asshole.
Yeah,
Zach was an asshole in general, but they were blood brothers, and
there was no
reasons
you
behind
said Brody. That's what I was trying.
That. No,
I know you said Brody. That's why I was like,
because
wait.
He was trying to take advantage of the only girl Brody liked.
Yeah, you said it backwards. That's why I was asking. You said it backwards.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so.
But anyway, yeah. So they really didn't delve into what his reasonings were for being an asshole to somebody he considered Brotherhood of Steel, because that was the call sign they always gave each other. And I think that's where they dropped the ball. It's like they could have built a more established origin behind his reasonings, and that's the only thing that just did not come across to me.
Yeah, they had a moment where they're showing him and Brody bonding, and they show that it makes it seem like Zach's rough or tough, and like they kind of show that his dad was like not there, but not there, but not there, and he was. Yeah. He's a bad boy because he's stealing things out of cars. But really, throughout the movie up until that point, he wasn't too much of a bad person, really. Zach wasn't. And then all of a sudden he just did. And it was like, okay, I don't know.
Point is,
really makes sense.
He's a typical kid, metal kid that you'd expect that has, parents that are not paying attention. Because I remember going through that myself. But at the same time, at the end, I still was loyal to those who were with me, and he was doing things to Brody that just didn't make sense, like keeping the note from him, like taking advantage of Medina, and then never really, and then leaving towards the end saying screw you guys, I'm out of here. And then there's no reason, no rhyme, no reason as to why he's doing this. It wasn't for image. It's not like he was trying to be the cool guy when he did these things. It was just a straight up asshole move.
Well, no, I don't even think it was asshole move like character. It was an asshole move. No, listen. I don't think it was like an asshole, like, oh, this character's an asshole and that's why he did it. I think it was the writers making him do it because of his character, and somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do this now. So this has to happen. It's like one of those things that just happened because
it fell short because of that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think he didn't have a reason, because the writers just wrote it in because they like, oh, this is what needs to happen right now, even though it does fit the character. Yeah. So, positives for me. Right when the movie, I saw some of the fast camera stuff, and in the first couple minutes, I thought it was gonna be super corny and cheesy. I was like, oh god, here we go. And then they slowed down on that stuff. Movie went on, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So it was able to get into like a rhythm. Stuff would happen when they would zoom in, zoom out, do the slight like Evil Dead stuff with the camera, or Shaun of the Dead stuff with the camera, where they like we got to go to the get the rifle above the bar, you know, and so I thought the dialogue was okay in a general sense, but it lacked in those areas like you're mentioning, Lynn, where they should have had some progression and reasoning behind why this guy's doing this or why this guy's doing that. In fact, like why would so now that girl, just as far as we know, she's hooked up with all three, two cousins and a best friend.
Well, the cousin was only saying she was his girl. I think she was just like a ride to school, because this guy was such a douche, man. David?
Maybe. Yeah, David was a cousin.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm just saying though, like she's over there. She might have been hooking up with the cousin, getting banged out, getting her brains banged out.
The cousin and his friend were just like two fucking retarded, hanger-on characters. They really served no purpose but to just be a distraction for Brody.
Just be something to cause him pain.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like even then, what I did like about that aspect is when she ran into Brody and they got ice cream. They went to the bench. You could tell her character was deeper than just that. The banging the cousin aspect that they kind of make it out to be, because I thought what I got from the part with the tattoo conversation when she was like right here, I felt like him to see if he was like a normal douchebag like the cousin, and he passed that test when he's like, oh, yeah, that's a nice spot, but he wasn't even really looking at her. He was kind of being respectful, and I thought that was. I took that as like she was testing him to see if he's a douchebag, and also showing that she has more to her, that she does want a nice guy. At least that's what I got from it. So I liked that. The action, I thought. Excuse me. I liked the action for the most part. I think it fit well for what the movie was. I liked how they armed up and got better armor and weapons, but it wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. It's not. It was very. Yeah. They weren't going against hordes of enemies. It was literally at the most, I think you would see like 5 people they're going against at a time, give or take, and that's in the final battle.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, maybe 5 on screen at a time. So it wasn't something. It wasn't trying to be bigger than what it actually is, which I like that. Mm-hmm. So it kept things reasonable and appealing to me. They kept the FX good because of that. You don't have like cheap ass visual graphics. Like throwing that stuff in there. So I liked what they did with in that aspect.
All right, my question is this, and I posted to you. I posted to both of you now. Can I just say that this is the best use of dildo weaponry ever in a picture? Because there's all. I mean, and the weed whacker joke.
I did win an award for that, right?
But I'm just saying, that was the best use I've ever seen of sex toys.
Actually, it won 2 awards for that.
No, I've seen better use. They actually use them why they're supposed to be used.
No. I'm talking about as straight up weapons in a horror film against demons. You cannot get better than that. I thought that was like the funniest 5 minutes ever. Is him backslapping his uncle with that double dong, the black one. Double-ended
dildo.
I mean, you can't get, and then, he shoves it in.
Now, the thing that it kind of reminded me of is there was a video on YouTube of 2 friends wrestling around and fighting, and one friend tried to come to this fight with a dildo, and the other friend was like, "Oh, stop it!" And he ended up, the friend that didn't have the dildo that was trying to be stop it. He ended up getting the upper hand, and he sat on his legs. And he was in a position. The friend who brought the dildo into the fight defend his ass, and he pulled it. The friend pulled his pants and got the dildo and started hitting him in the ass with it, and then started going vertical up and down with the dildo. And it totally reminded me of that little video, just slapping him with it. It also reminded me of the dildo fight in Neighbors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, in Neighbors, you didn't have, when his aunt got both, vibrators stuck to the side of her skull, all I said, well, that's a damn good head job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was pristine moment, man. I thought the whole sex toy fight scene was just hysterical. Because it came out of left field. Because they were looking for wooden crosses, and they're looking at a box of church stuff.
I will
all dildos and.
I will say this: that was pretty predictable. You saw the box that said church stuff. I was like, oh, that's gonna be sex toys. Right off my head, I was like, that's sex toys.
Yeah, but in the way the movie was going, you didn't think that they were gonna do that.
I wasn't expecting that in that direction of that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I expected to see the sex toys in there, but I didn't think they were gonna. I'll say that.
And then having the one demon with no pants, and then like I said, the weed whacker to the, genitalia. I mean,
that reminded me of another video on YouTube. It's regarding
my god.
Yeah, no, for real. It's regarding RoboCop, and in this one, these guys are trying to rape a woman, and RoboCop just starts shooting their dicks off, and then more rapists come out. He keeps shooting off all the dicks of all these rapists. It reminded me of that. It was a thing where all these groups of people remade scenes from the RoboCop movie, and so that reminded me of that actually when he tore up the dick with the weed whacker.
But I loved it because that's one of the things I liked. Those type of scenes, you get a little bit of the sarcasm in the writing. That's when the writing was good. Like when Zach is telling Brody, dude, you just whacked that guy off. I'm like,
you're really good at whacking guys off.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
really whacking guys off. Yeah, I'll say this for the writing. I thought it wasn't over the top. It was just enough to hit the notes, so I appreciated that. But like I said, some of these moments definitely reminded me of other things. So I'm wondering if him writing the Jason Leigh Howden. I wonder if he took inspiration from some of these types of videos. I don't think he took any.
He did. He took a lot of inspiration from.
No, but I was gonna say he probably took inspirations from some of the horror films that we've mentioned that they're relatable. But I don't think he looked at YouTube and said, "Yeah, the RoboCop dick joke. I gotta go with that one."
You never.
I don't think so.
When it looks very similar, you never know. It could be. I'm just saying. The odds of it could happen. So, Eddie, let's jump over to some of the negatives. Eddie, what did you have negative about it? You said you fell asleep 3 times at the end.
But no, it wasn't because of the movie. It was just because I was just watching. I got out of work.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say right now. One, when we do these, you need to pick a different time to watch movies because you tend to fall asleep with a lot of movies, regardless of it being good or bad.
No, but
so you need to pick a different time. I'm
like, and I'm waking up. Oh man! So it wasn't because of the writing or the movie. It was just because I got out of work and just started watching it.
Okay, personal reasons. Okay, so that's good. I wanted to figure that out because I was like, man, Eddie's falling asleep with a lot of these movies. He's a morning or something, right? When he gets his coffee, go watch a movie, or evening for us, but morning for him. So dislikes. Tell me some of the stuff that you weren't happy about. Some of the stuff that you wish they could change.
I actually can't say I dislike the parts of the movie because it was too much of a throwback for me. That's the only thing. I mean, there's some minor stuff, but nothing major like where I need to nitpick at it. And I'm good for nitpicking at stuff, so. I mean, I got no negatives in the movie.
Okay, Lynn, negatives for you.
Well, I mentioned some of my negatives. Like I said, the problems that I had with Zach as a character overall, how he was written. No real reasons for doing things, just felt like doing it. I thought towards the end, when they were getting towards the nitty gritty, the deaths of Giles and Dio felt unnecessary, like they were just thrown in there to get him out of the way. You know, like why couldn't the whole gang? I mean, it made sense for Zach for what happens to Zach, but for Giles and Dio, it felt like, oh, we're just going to get them out of the way so we don't have to deal with having them towards the end of the picture. You know, there was like no real reasoning, like the fact that Giles just ran off with his sword and just like stood there, and then that happened. So I felt like there's things that were rushed that could have just been let it mature better, and like I said, certain character profiles could have been developed more. Other than that, there's really nothing else.
Yeah, when Giles and Dion, when they died, I felt like they could have spaced those two deaths out more and given the movie more of an adventure feel and have them die along the way, or they could have at least both been in the main room fighting and dying at the same time in the main room when they were doing that fight.
Or not die at all.
Or not die at all. Yeah.
Their deaths were rushed. Like,
yeah, because I was
thrown in there. When
they killed the D&D one, which I forget which one that one was. When one was killed, I was just like, why? How does he get separated at that point? Because there was nothing that occurred to make them separate. And so
he decided to run off. He felt he was going to leave once he got the sword. He thought he was just trying to get out of there. He felt it's not safe anymore.
They didn't show that. You're saying that. That's what I'm saying. Is though he just somehow is separated from them, which they don't.
No, they show him. They show him look at the sword, pick it up, and they show him leave because they call his name. They call his name, and he goes like, "No, I'm out of here. I'm done." So and that's pretty much it.
I wasn't a fan of those two deaths either. They could have made it more like a horror movie in an adventure way, because it's kind of like an adventure because their goal was to get to the school. Their goal after the school is to go do this. It was like a goal, like the adventure was to get to that goal, I'm saying. And so they could have had them die along the way or be mortally injured along the way and then somehow peter out at the end or just keep them alive.
My question with Dio's death specifically, he had his one arm ripped off, yet he was held by two people. You never see the second arm rip off. So does he? Because not a lot of people can die from losing a limb. Yeah, they'll go into shock and they'll drop, but I don't. You know, once you saw that arm ripped off, that's it. No more Dio.
I thought they started. I thought they started beating him with his own arm. Did they hit him with his own arm?
Yeah, they beat him with that one stump that they pulled off, and once you see him go all the way down, that's it. You don't see anything else. That's when Zach comes in with the two chainsaws and takes out the two that ripped his arms off.
I have another issue with the movie is in this they at the beginning they go to Ricky Daggers. They find Ricky Daggers. And so they find him. He says, "Take this, get out of here. Aeon has found us, whatever." The guy kills him. Aeon is just a random, normal dude who has money. Which I'll say this point is the beheading part, and he gets all mad, and they put a tarp down, and they redo it, and the one guy goes, and he does like a, like that to the head to fall. I thought that was really funny. But going back to Aeon, I was like, why is he so scared of random as like one henchman? I didn't understand that one henchman that goes out in the field, and I was like, that's that was a little overplayed in my book. And then two, in the plot summary, whatever, reading this at the beginning, it states the blind one. I don't remember that ever in the film at all. No, I remember the demons. I remember the demons coming up and being blind, but I don't remember them being stated like from Aeon or anything. All of a sudden, I just remember the demons just didn't have eyes, and then I remember one like pulled him out. I see you, but before that, I don't remember anything about the blind. but
but they also referred to him by name. They didn't refer to him as the blind
Never,
one.
never. And that's like, I was like, when I read this earlier, I was like, the blind one. Like, okay, it's now. But during the movie, I'm like, why are all these things blind? During the movie, I was like, why is that one blind? Why are they all blind? This doesn't make any sense. They're demons. All of a sudden, they're blind. Some of them have regular, some of them have jacked up teeth, like sharp teeth. So I thought there was some inconsistency there with the storytelling and that aspect of being the demons out there. And were the demons just purely possessing the people and then changing them physically after possessing them, or were the demons, like, were the people turning into demons because they got killed from listening to the music? It was hard to.
I think the how it was because Brody and the guys played the Black Hymn wrong. They played, because that's the name of the song, the Black Hymn. Since they played it wrong the first time, I think that's one of the reasons why, the demons were the way they were. It was not exactly how it's supposed to be. Because that's one of the key things that Brody figured out, is that it was played wrong. Why they kept falling, they kept collapsing while playing it. They couldn't last to finish it. And so I think some of that had to deal with them playing the song wrong and why the demons turned out the way they did. Though it could have been explained. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just assuming.
See, I don't think that's it either. I just think that was just bad storytelling.
Well,
see, that's what my negative is about it. I don't think that that's a reason for it. I know they mentioned that, but what I think that if they would have played it completely right, I bet the whatever his name was, would have been able to go down right then and there. But I just felt like they did a piss poor job of one, explaining, or they keep on saying possessed, but then they show the demons killing, and then for me it was a mixed bag, in the sense, okay, are they doing like a zombie effect? Is it because of the music? Because some people were. And then they kind of mentioned, like, oh, they're within hearing distance, shouting distance, so they heard the garage music. Everybody else was then turned later as well. So were those people then, like, bitten by those demons, or were they just possessed, like they came from hell and possessed them? There was stuff like that was unexplained that I felt kind of like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to just go with it at that point. That's kind of how I felt.
Ed, what do you think? Since you're looking away,
and you're making faces, so it makes a.
No, because I'm hearing an echo a couple of times.
Oh, so.
I got it in my ear, so.
So okay, well, that's about it. I had. I mean, I was okay with most of the rest of it. Eddie, let's get into your overall feelings about the movie and your grade about it.
It was a good movie. Like I said, if I was 16 years old, I would have really enjoyed it more. The sad part is I kept on falling asleep in the last 20 minutes. That's why I had to watch it so many times. Other than that, it was a good movie, nice and tight. They're definitely doing a sequel, which they already started production last December.
Well, yeah, if you sit through the credits, you get
the end credit scene and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you hear Zach talking to Brody through a record. And I thought that was pretty sweet, because that goes back to the whole playing, a certain album backwards that they mentioned.
Yeah.
And they actually show the tattoo that he made for, Medina. So that they closed that part off, but then you're like, whoa, okay, he's talking to him from the pits of hell.
Yeah.
Wait, you just said set through the credits. That was before the credits even rolled.
No,
at the end of the credits.
At the end of the credits is when Brody and Medina are laying in bed. They show the tattoo, and because he starts.
Unless there's a second one you're talking about.
Listen, he starts to talking through the record, right? And then at the end, you hear the conversation that the two of them are having about band names.
Okay, so there's more than you're saying. There's more.
Yeah.
Because the first part was before the credits, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, but altogether, since I am an old man now, I would have to give this movie a C. I mean, there's some things I like, but other than that, it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to knock it.
I mean, I'm not going to be as harsh as Ed was as far as grade. I give it a B, a solid B, because it does take you back to those Evil Dead slash campy films that didn't take themselves too seriously, but still were gory and good at being gory. And that's what this movie harkened to. And to me, that's just a pleasant eye to see. The fact that there's still some horror makers out there that cherish some of the good things that happen and don't try to force like digital effects on you with this. And I'm glad with this there was hardly any, except for a few spots here and there if you really catch it. But it stuck to basics, what a horror movie should do. And overall, like I said, solid B for me. And the soundtrack gets an A.
Okay. Shoot. I rated this on right after I watched it. I overall I liked it. It's something that I took it as a very, very well made horror film. It's not with it's not with the quality of something like The Conjuring or something of that nature, but they did a good job for whatever small budget this was. The film looked good, the sound was good, the cuts were good. They did a good job with it overall. I ended up liking it. It wasn't corny to the point where I was like, oh, typical horror movie. It's like, oh, they didn't go the corny route. There was some stuff that was corny, but it was like good corny and not over the top. And I'm glad that they knew, like, Jason, the director, knew when, like, all right, that's enough of the corny stuff. So it seemed like he was like, all right, we'll do a little bit, put it out there for you, but that's enough. So I overall I liked it. I would give this one a B minus, right in between the two of you. It's something that it's short, in an hour and 26 minutes, I think it was. What was it? An hour and 20 minutes. 26 so minutes. I mean, yeah. So it's really keeps everything close together. The pace of it was pretty well done. I like that. That's what made it overall, was the fact that being an hour, pacing was good. All the other stuff added that I mentioned, B minus. Any last words, you guys? Anybody want to play any music backwards?
Oh man, I want to pull out a record player.
So
puppets.
When I saw the dream sequence of Brody with the axe, he's playing his guitar, and the two chicks, I was like, all right, those chicks have. I was like, those chicks have their tops on. They better come off in like a second. And then he goes like, and he blows them off.
Two chicks were Medina. He only had one. Medina had the two girls.
Yeah, well, whatever. The one that was by his right foot, the one that was by his right, she had her top on. I was like, all right, that top is on, and I know that top is not supposed to be on. This is a horror movie, and we haven't seen tits.
That's what I love how she just looked up at him like saying, "Hey."
Yeah, like
oh. And he just like rips a chord on his guitar and blang.
Yeah,
I thought that was hysterical.
Any moments for you, Eddie, in this film that really grabbed you?
No, not really.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
At all. Nothing.
Nothing stuck out.
Did you laugh out loud? Did you laugh out loud at least once, Eddie?
No.
You didn't laugh out loud at once? Okay.
I smiled a couple of times, but that's about it.
Okay, tell me, what was that moment when you?
What? When I smiled?
Yeah. What was the moment when you smiled?
One of the moments when I smiled was when he was talking to Medina. Bodhi was talking to Medina, and the guys in the background are making fun of him.
Oh, they're doing the with
yeah. I was like,
what?
Yeah.
I sat there, I'm like, really?
I was kind of happy that she kind of caught them. She kind of caught them because they didn't get out of position entirely fast enough. So I was like, oh yeah, she caught them. She knows what they're doing.
My thing is, all right, she's a very intelligent girl. It's obvious in this movie. From the get-go, she's smart. She's smarter than any of the guys on here. But my play is, really? You're asking them for ice cream? That's how you're going to win them over? You're going to, hey, want some ice cream?
He's a scared little boy.
No, yeah,
He's a-
no. Don't get me wrong. I love
solid
the fact that Brody.
You love
I
ice cream.
love I
Oh.
love the fact that Brody was uncomfortable with talking to her, because to be honest, that was a lot of us at that age. That even though we looked how we looked, we were still very uncomfortable talking to certain girls, especially a girl we liked. So I love that he captured that, awkwardness with Brody and Medina. Because though he liked her, he was still very standoffish with her, and I like that. That's. But I think, to mirror you, my key moment was the Medina scene with her holding the axe and the two girls at her side.
And they
And
start
the two
kissing.
girls are completely, the two girls are oblivious to her whatsoever. But she's like, I don't care. I'm sitting here swinging this axe, badass as can be. Because I'm like Xena.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
I was just looking at it as a moment that caught my attention because I was like, okay, here's a perfect moment for tits. For tits. And we haven't seen tits yet. I'm sorry talking about this, but it's a horror movie. It's a B horror movie. You're supposed to have tits in B horror movies. I know that makes us sound like misogynistic assholes, but that's how it goes.
No,
that's a standard trope.
Us, no. That you, yes. Us, not so much.
Yeah.
But we got more than our fill of boobs
There
towards
was
the end as well.
Yeah, at the end when Sheena or whatever took off her top and
For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, I was
She's
like,
just
okay,
screaming, enter me.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny because it was like, all right, like it's sexual innuendo, double entendre. I was like, all right, that's good. I like that.
I don't think she's screaming, enter me, half naked. I don't think it was double anything. It's pretty straightforward what she wanted.
The other thing that was pretty cool, which it would be cool if whoever produced the movie gets the artist, whoever drew all the pictures that Brody supposedly drew, and does a little book of them. Just does a little coffee table book of them, like a $10 little book. In the movie Superbad, remember when he draws the penises and whatnot? What?
One of my box of Dread had a whole stuff of DeathGasm. I didn't know what the hell it was at the time. I think I still got it, and it had a book in there.
Dude, if you have it, I want it. If you're not getting it, you're not keeping it, I want it.
If it's right there in your room. Oh, you gotta, okay. So in the movie Superbad, he draws dicks when he was kids, right? When he was a kid, he draws dicks. And the movie, the production company, whoever, they actually made a small little coffee table book with all the pictures that the kid drew. So, like, something like that would be funny.
As I was looking for pictures for our background for this, I was running across it, and there's an image of him actually holding one of the pictures up. And I think he's the one who actually drew it because he's, it's in the scene of the school, and he's holding the notebook up, like saying, it looked like a Instagram picture, like, look what I've been doing for like 5-6 hours. So I'll have to research some more if it's really him or it was somebody else. But yeah, I agree, man. And I also found a band poster of the band, because that's DeathGasm is the name of the band that him and Zach made up with Giles and Dio.
I liked Unicorn Cum or whatever better. What was that? It was a Unicorn Cum or what was it?
But
they had
it has the image of the demon that you see behind the movie poster, but it has a huge penis in front of it where the kids are supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, so if you search the image, you'll find it. But I thought it was pretty cool that they do have a lot of art on there pertaining to it. But I was hoping to find the soundtrack because a lot of the music that was on there was pretty decent.
Yeah, the box of Dread. It was the box of Dread that I had. It came with a book and a sticker.
And a sticker?
Yeah.
When you find that book, let us know what's in the book.
Yeah, because like I said, once I was done with the movie itself, I looked at it. I looked for it on Amazon and compared it with prices off of eBay. Amazon was still cheaper, and I ordered the Blu-ray because it's one of those, it's one of those movies that once in a blue moon, you want to put it on when you just want a movie that you could just have fun with.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful. The gore is so beautifully done, except for like, the school with the teacher. That was just like every orifice was just like spewing blood, and he's throwing up on the one girl. I think the throw up on the one girl was a little too much. But other than that, the gore was just beautiful.
Yeah, they did a good job. It was overtly gory, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, you guys from us, horses' mouths right now. Eddie gives it a C. I gave it a B minus, and Lynn is the high mark with a B. We definitely, I guess we would recommend you guys to watch this film. We definitely had a good time with it overall. Eddie, again, at the least, the far end for Eddie, but he did enjoy it. It brought him back to his youth, which is always a good thing. But for now, let's say our goodbyes. Eddie.
Good night, everybody. You can find me on AKA.
Can you get in frame because you're not in frame?
I am in frame of my angle.
No, your head's cut off, buddy boy.
I don't know why.
He's in frame to me.
I guess the DeathGasm movie's coming back to haunt me then. It's cutting my own head off.
Yeah.
All right. Good night. You can find me on AKA Geeks and wherever else I'm doing. Thank you.
Lynn.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching us. As always, appreciate it. You can find me on the AKA Geeks Twitter page. Follow our Facebook page. Follow the YouTube page, of course, because you're watching us here. But yeah, you can also catch me online on Xbox Live under Ash Darkthorn and PSN Ash_Darkthorn.
Nice. All right, guys, and like Lynn said, remember to follow us and everything we got going on. This whole month for Movie of the Week, we're going to be doing horror/Halloween movies. Next will be a solo movie for me. I am definitely open to any types of suggestion. I will probably put out comments. Yeah, leave us comments down here. I will probably post something on Facebook with options. Something on Facebook with options of what I have in mind. But please let me know. I love the feedback, and I love to help my horror knowledge be shaped by other individuals that might have a deeper love for it than I do, because I want to learn and I want to experience more. So again, that's it for this week, you guys. I will see you guys next time. Catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter. Xbox One is Swish187. PlayStation 4 is Swish Drop. Twitter is Caliman Swish. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
AKA Geeks.